a lot of things which are driven by marketing.
Web3 gaming saved my life.
Physical to digital, it's a really nice narrative.
Now all the feedback we're getting is from the board game.
I know Andres for a very long time, actually.
And it's going to be funded on Kickstarter.
Feeling of it is I think, still important.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this thrilling edition of the pitch session brought to you by Sakura Protocol. I'm Marius. You can find me on Twitter with the CloudFX M. I'm a VP of Web3 of Sakura Labs, and I'm delighted today to guide you through today's session as we dive into the future of the free gaming and decentralized innovations. A little bit of quick disclaimer before we start the session. Nothing you will hear is a financial advice. A lot of these things are done for educational purposes. In the dynamic landscape of Web3, it's common to encounter like a lot of things which are driven by marketing, which are driven by excitement and hype, and by KOLs as well. However, this is not always right, and a lot of consumers and investors are facing the reality that hype is not everything. And in the end of the day, the real projects with real tokenomics, with real in-game mechanics, and with a good team who is capable to deliver things, in the end, these projects will thrive. So in today's session, I'm very excited. We have an opportunity to dive into very unusual product, which combines two worlds, which combines a real-world board game and decentralized digital game experience, combining it with AI and with blockchain technology as well. So are you ready to dive into these DeFi ecosystems and sustainable tokenomics? How are you guys? We have some guests here. We have Antonio, we have Andres.
Hi, guys.
Hello,
welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Cool. So a little bit about Antonio. Antonio is a Chief Strategy Officer of the World Challenge game with a robust background in investments, analysis, and deep passion for Web3 gaming. And he's bringing a lot of value from the expertise. I know, Antonio, that it's not the first game you're working on, so I'm very glad that you have joined a World Challenge team in December 2023. And and before that, he had a successful career in real estate, which he left behind because there are much more interesting things to do than the boring real estate. So, Antonio, glad to have you on board.
Thank you. Yeah, Web3 gaming saved my life. I was getting bored and bad health, and suddenly I changed these conversations of real estate for Axie Infinity in that moment, and my life and health improved a lot. So thanks Web3 for that.
Really cool. I'm really glad to introduce Andrus Bartmanas, who is the COO and co-founder of SuperHow. Andrus is bringing over a decade of experience in blockchain and AI innovations. And I had an opportunity to reconnect and learn a little bit more how much you have developed in the last 4 years. And that was really, really exciting for me. So glad to have you on board. Your expertise of building large-scale projects and overall pushing the boundaries of the technology has been extraordinary. So yeah, your mic, introduce yourself to the audience.
Hello, guys. It's a pleasure to be here. So I have more than already 15 years experience in ICT industry in sales and business development positions. So my always, passion and perspective was to understand, client requirements and to land those requirements for technical team to assess and to establish, connections. So that's what I did for 10 years in a row, then switching, positions in a different business strategy and CEO positions as well. Also helping Lithuanian companies to connect with, foreign companies at our agency under the Ministry of Economy. My journey in crypto started in 2016 when, crypto and crypto assets, blockchain started to boom. In 2018, our vice minister, of economy said that Lithuania will become the global, not European competence center for the blockchain technologies. And that was it. So me and my colleagues, Linas and Vytautas, we decided to establish SuperHow as privately held, research and innovation lab. We are FinTech Innovator of the Year awarded twice, and we're known as builders of different innovative technologies, including blockchain, Web3, and artificial intelligence. And I'm happy to be here and letting my knowledge enhance to Marius and his team to assess different projects.
Amazing, man. Like you are the number one company and the guys when it comes to like legislations and like corporate scale projects development. So it's time to prepare for an insightful session ahead of us. Then the Wall Challenge and Antonio will be presenting you how Wall Challenge is different from everything else in the market and how it will become a big thing. Antonio, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Then I will start as I always like to start, and it's explaining that we are a board game, a physical board game that it's transitioning, basically, no? But the product we've been selling for the last year, it's the board game, it's a box that when you open, you find a golden ticket like in Willy Wonka. And this golden ticket has a QR. This QR onboards new users to the space, basically through an avatar that for us is not an avatar, it's an NFT, but they don't know, no? And suddenly, book in the Web3 space. The board game, as the gameplay, let's say, it's very similar to a Risk, but with more cute graphism about the world. And you have to conquer the world the same way you do it in Risk. But instead of rolling dices, we wanted to get rid of that lucky factor, and we put questions, general culture questions, instead of rolling dices. And in those questions, we include Web3 questions. So it's not all about Web3 questions, but obviously it's a plus to know something. And since we believe that Web3 is already general culture, Bitcoin, everybody knows what it is. The questions are not super complex, okay, but an insider will get them. So that's a little bit about the game. I wanted to introduce it first because I think that it's easier to understand what it follows after that. As you can see here, it's the whole ecosystem that we're designing. We started by doing the funnier game we could, no? And we had this board game version and also the app version that will be ready now in a little bit. And well, we created the NFT collection too. We have the token that it's an in-game token, and that's very important. Now we're about to launch the Asia version with new characters. As you see, you can see some famous Kim Jong-un there, and it's going to be founded on Kickstarter. Then we will go for World Challenge Go, that it's a light version of the game, cheaper, faster to play, easy in general. Then World Challenge Show, World Challenge TV podcast that we already recorded some podcasts. Then do our own events, World Challenge Tour, esports, and World Challenge Animation. So what does take the game to the next level means to us? Basically, to digitalize and to include Web3. So to transform a board game in something that everybody can play and improve it with Web3 technology, as I will explain later. Okay, it's important to talk that obviously we're going to reward Web3 players, but it's not our main focus. Our main focus is to onboard as much Web2 players as we can. And for that, we need them to give as many hours of fun as we can and teach them something. That's our goal, and that's the model about it. Well, as usual, the numbers of the video game market are crazy. 38% of the world population is already playing some video game. The growth, it's 8% annual, and the market value of video games is 197 billion. Of these crazy numbers, I'm going to focus on the SOM, serviceable obtainable market, that it's 5 million. It's more reasonable of all these numbers. And this is just about 3% of the total downloads of our main competitor, which is Monopoly Go. Go big or go home. Okay, Monopoly Go has been the number one game in terms of downloads of the last year, and they have 13 million of daily active users. They have 150 million downloads, and they did 3 billion in only 14 months. More facts, they spend obviously a lot of money that Web3 projects are not able to afford right now, like 1 million in ads every day. But despite of that, since they are our real world version, no, they had the board game and then they become as successful as they did. We want to follow that path, and it's a competitor and an inspiration. So, three key of success from Monopoly Go was the premium, accessible, and tangible. Okay, they have the tangible part as we have of having something real, but we add the sustainable part. Okay, the sustainable part is about the balance of the Web3 rewards that they have to come of a good proportion between Web3 players and Web2 players, as you can see here. So in our lab, we have the numbers of what we want to reach on increasing sales of board games. Then you can see the app users, that would be the Web2, and then the Web3. As you can see, the proportion of the first year, it's 78,000 against 15,000. We're talking about the 20% of Web2 users and no, 20% of Web3 users, sorry, and 80% of Web2 users. But this proportion goes down and goes down to a 2% when we onboard 4.8 and we have 80,000 of Web3 users. Why? Because we can not be giving away tokens since we're a deflationary token. So it means basically that the token will be less and less, and there's a scarcity. So in order to keep the thing sustainable, we need to onboard in a fastest rhythm Web2 users than Web3 users. And that's the ratio that will make this sustainable. 2% of people obtaining profits for being holders or for being grinders or for being, good players. And the other people just spending money on a game like we all did in the past and we should be ready to do in the future.
Tony, may I interrupt?
Yeah, sure.
Do you have any incentives for people to have all three layers? So a board game, an application, and then the free component, or is just three separate? How to say, you can play all those three separately without any benefit or any incentive behind. So what is the logic behind that?
Yeah, let's say I'm going to tell you the bridges between them, no? So as I told you, in the board game, they have this NFT that they don't even know that is an NFT. Some of them will know, but basically it's an avatar on the blockchain and they get access to the game. Now I will explain in a few slides how that works, but basically only the people with NFTs can withdraw the in-game currency and make profit. So a Web3 player can come from the app and to Web3. There's the board game player that can come from Web2 to from the board game to Web2, and then there's the little percentage of people that will do a board game, Web2, and finally he will say, I have the NFT, I can get rewards. So the bridge between them, it's basically the NFT. You can find it in the three elements.
I would say so. I would say that you're basically keeping. If correct me if I understood it like wrong or correctly. So basically, what you're saying, you're just estimating conservatively that for most of the Web2 and the board game users, they will not be interested to move to the free part. But this is just like a rough. So you're already kind of predicting that, and you're not relying because there are a lot of products in the market which are saying that, hey, we will convert like millions of users to the Web3 users, and it's not going to happen in the next 5 years at least. So
I mean, they will not be able because there's a limited amount of NFTs. Then if that happens, everybody wants to hold an NFT. The result of that will be a crazy increase of the price of the NFTs. But that's the idea is that not all people can hold an NFT because otherwise we would be playing to the changing money game, no? Changing hands.
So you're kind of applying the scarcity method. the only way to buy NFT would be buying out of the market. It will not be possible to get it inside the game, etc. Like, is that correct?
Well, there are some things that obviously can be modified, and maybe we can make within currency game buy your own NFT and be able to withdraw. But the idea is not that much to sell that to Web2 people. It's more that they sustain the economy of the project, like many other games did. While Web3 people can be competitive, can do scholarships, can do all the things we like, no? While there's a sustainable economy. But obviously, we can bridge that people by offering them NFT. The idea is to sell only 80,000 NFTs in all the history of the project to limit it in that number. But now we're launching a new collection from Asia, no? And we can do more NFTs. We can do a special edition of Trump with the year or something. I mean, we can do a lot of different things, and we can increase it if necessary at the end of the day. But what I want to make clear is that our idea is to make sustainable the project. We need a lot of people spending money on our game more than people expecting to get rewards. So the people that want rewards will get rewards.
Okay, so it's managed economics. Okay.
Okay, thank you for the question. The board game we've been selling for the last September, so 1 year from now, we sold 5,000 copies. It's available in English and Spanish, and we have international distribution. The app, it's a replica of the board game, not an exact replica. Obviously, you need to adjust some things and add sounds that you cannot put on the board game, but the idea and the concept is the same. And well, basically, it has to be available to all the platforms for mobile.
Andrews, are you a fan of board games?
Yeah, I am.
Are you a fan of trivia?
No.
Not really. Okay. But anyway,
Risk?
we will need to force Anthony to send us a copy. And when we can play with a group of people at yours or ours place.
Cool. Paella and World Challenge game. Good evening.
Perfect.
Okay. Following with the NFT collection, as you see, now there's a total of 99 NFTs, but we only did a pre-sale of 11 NFTs sold out in Magic Eden. We're going to release the rest very soon when we launch the app version of the game. And basically, you have different rarities. There's one exclusive from the board game, that is the wood, and we'll identify the people that comes from the board game, which will be really funny to find them in the Web3 space, no, coming from a board game. So they will give you different perks. Basically, the holders of NFT will be able to withdraw the in-game token, and they will be able to rank, get better rewards in depending on the rarity of their NFT. They can track all the results of that NFT thanks to Sakura in this, that we will be able to do a lot of transactions and we can record all the data that we want. So all the NFTs will be traceable. And then they will be able to do scholarships, that it's always a good passive income to get for those who cannot reach or buy an NFT, but somebody can lend it and get some income from that. So with this slide, we wanted to show how a Web3 game should be for us. Simple, there's no wallet here. Imagine how awkward is to arrive to a shop and that the first question you receive is show me your wallet. I don't want my grandma to do that. I want her to download the game and just play. And that's also a reason why we decided to migrate to Sakura in terms of technology. That's how it should look for us. So as you see, it says select your avatar, not your NFT. No, you play and get points, you improve your ranking, and then you receive rewards. Depending if you hold an NFT or not, they will be in-game or you will be able to withdraw them. The financial model is really simple. The income comes from advertising and in-game transactions. Also, the profit comes from there. And then it turns into a buyback that goes to player rewards and token burning. World token utility, you can see the typical ones here on top. And then, as I said, and I'm repeating it a lot, in-game utilities. It's an in-game token. So you have all these brainstormed ideas to spend the token inside, so you don't have need to withdraw. So As an educational project, we copied the supply from Bitcoin. We thought that it was a very good first lesson to give. No, total supply of 21 million. Then we are gonna sell at 21% of the token supply, and we're gonna do it in three phases. The first one is the strategic sale. Second one for our NFT holders, and the third one in the IDO with a 95-cent price per token. The distribution of the funds. Okay, here you see marketing. I usually don't like big marketing budgets, but I think that it's mandatory here since we are competing against a giant industry that is Web2 gaming. So we need a lot of marketing funds. In fact, we just received 200K as a grant to develop the mobile app. So probably very soon we will move this 17% to marketing too, to make a huge campaign in marketing and onboard all these Web2 users that we need. So roadmap. Well, we start very long time ago with the board game pre-sale, and now we are here. We're gonna do the NFT sale of the rest of the NFTs available, the token sale. We're launching now the video game, and as I said before, the Kickstarter. What's next? The video game is going to be launched in our own app because now we're launching at Playjoy, as I will tell now the reasons, and the blockchain integration. Then we're going to include all the new modes of game, and we will follow with the building ecosystem. Next step, very important, Playjoy. Why? Okay, it's one of our main partners. They have a bunch of Web2 users. As you see, all these numbers, this 1.5 million downloads is from Web2 users that plays, 30,000 daily active users, and they have a traction of 100,000. Why we start this way? Because we will be able to impact a lot of people from Web2. We will have their feedback. Meanwhile, we are developing the app with all this blockchain layer, with the NFT integration, and so on. So basically, people here will be collecting points that then we will transition into the app. The day they download the app, we will onboard all the people that we can from here to start playing inside our own app. And we will start with a good proportion of Web2 players that, as I said several times, it's very important to us. Well, about us. Now, this is the team. Special mention for Daniel Blázquez and Carles Pons, that they are the creators of Akamon Entertaining Millennium, that they sold for 23 million. We participated in a lot of events. And as an educational game, a lot of partners are just universities. You're invited to the offices when you want to play the game, and well, we can play digitally very soon. So thank you.
Okay, it's time for questions. So I have you from my own, but Andres, of course, you are the guest and the judge, I would say. So Mike is yours.
Not a concern, but the question is, so the game itself has that physical part, and the ultimate question is, why not to do it purely digitally?
A lot of business decisions come from emotions. And in our case, our CEO of board games has the house full of board games, and his main idea was to build a board game. So he started with his own money building a board game, and then some good partner, these people that I explained before, Daniel Blázquez, that came from selling a video game company, said, "Look, this is a very beautiful idea, but I think I can make it better." So then it get the I get the feeling that it's very good for us in Web3 to have a physical product, because Web3 is full of pirates. So if you have an office where you can go and complain, and you have a board game that you can burn, that helps people trust you and for you to show you transparent. And I think it's very good. It's not a hidden strategy, as you see. It's just someone who loves board games creating a board game and then growing it through technology.
Very nice answer, actually. I didn't hope to, answering any better. The next question from myself is, it is still so as you told, it is like started as a board game, then eventually it became an application like app game, and now it is web free. So did you had any, challenges through that, what to say, development or technical challenges converting board game into web-free game or digital game to web-free game?
I know a lot of business challenges because I'm not that technical. Maybe I'm sure that there were a lot of technical too, but I can explain one that it's very significant from the business side, and it's that our name wasn't World Challenge Game. Okay, I have to admit it. It was World Challenge NFT when we first created. But then when we had the board game ready and we contacted the distributor that we had all the dealer rents and everything, he said, "No way, I'm going to put the word NFT on all my shops." And we had to change all the boxes and we had to change this World Challenge NFT to World Challenge game. So that gives you an idea of what it feels like to go with the word NFT, the stigma that has blockchain when you're going to ask for grant of public funds or whatever. No, it gives you a little of stigma at the end of the day. And that's a really huge challenge from the business side that we somehow turn it into an advantage because since it's something scary, we turn it in an opportunity for universities to do a friendly approach and explain them that not everybody bites on the space. And I think that we kind of did a good work converting this problem into a good narrative.
Yeah, amazing. Maybe the last question from myself, and then I will give it to the Marius. So, as I understand, you have chosen Sakura as your layer one for the game. Why have you chosen it? Can you disclose it to the listeners and to myself?
I hope I can disclose it. Otherwise, you will see me fired in the next day. So we were in Polygon, and the truth is that they were supporting meme coins. Nobody on the phone, almost never. And the technology, look, you can make it a little bit faster or a little bit cheaper. But when you want to onboard a lot of Web2 users, you have to radically change the concept of what you want. No, you have to go aim for technology, forget about the grants for a moment, and go for technology. Then, if you want technology, you don't have that many options. And the best one we find in the technology side was Sakura for doing this Web2 experience and to onboard people in the blockchain without scaring them. And there was another finalist, but at the end, what made us decide Sakura was that their team was ready to jump inside our team to improve all the part from the technical side, from the technological side, implementing gaming APIs. I mean, that not only help you guarantee the success of the project, saves you a lot of costs and headaches, and having someone that already been through that path a lot of times makes you feel relaxed, so that on one side, and then in the business side also, they did good things and they are ready to help us doing repeating the success. So that's why we finally decided Sakura, and we're really happy to take that decision.
Thank you.
The bold,
And
the
I
bold
love
thing.
Marius. I just love Marius. I have to talk to him every week.
Yeah, it's really a pleasant journey. So yeah, thank you. Actually, like choosing the Sakura is also very motivating for us. We are trying always to operate with every partner and every client in a way, like it would be our company. Like I don't think that many of the competitors has that approach. Like a lot of competitors just like give away grants and they expect things to happen. Then a lot of projects which are coming from the Web2 space, they need a lot of like hand holding in a specific areas, like even from like a technological standpoint. Like if you are a very good Web2 game developer, it doesn't mean that you will become an expert in a Web3, let's say in DeFi, etc. And a lot of these projects, we have like a huge gaps of knowledge in a specific area. So that's why I believe that this is a uh, core purpose of the protocol, to have the team who is able to, and people who are able to like literally come in and guide you for the specific obstacles, introduce you to the right people, like, you know, because the Web3 is a small but very difficult, very competitive landscape. So you have to cut costs. Of course, the development costs are incredibly high on the Web3. Like hiring the good Web3 developers costs as well. So for example, I will do a little bit of like Sakura pitching over here, but like wall challenge game is actually one of the reasons we've literally built a new feature within the last 2 weeks. So by using the commit reveal logic, we built them an ecosystem on of the smart contracts on top of the blockchain, which allows them to actually validate quests and have everything transferred on top of a chain. So let's say you can collect your score on top of a chain, etc. We had those features before, but the actual quests and the answers that anyone can validate what's happening on there, and none of the questions submitted or quests submitted, because it's encrypted and it's commit reveal, has the binding to what happens in the future. So it's fully private survey tool, which we literally built for the wall challenge game, for them to be, you know, to be able to launch faster. Like literally launching with us probably will take them 2 weeks, like to embed their game.
At the end of the day, what we want to do with the token is to finance the rewards during the process, while the Web2 users are spending enough money, no? Because now at the beginning, with the Web3 players, with the onboarding, you need to do an airdrop, you need to offer these people from Playjoy an airdrop that when they download the app, they get a reward for this month or 2 months that they have been playing. And you need to give some incentivization until you get the, let's say it's the starter, no? At the end of like in an engine, the electric motor that will start the combustion engine. So that's kind of the idea of the tokenomics. Once we have spent that money, we have already a good business going on, no? And the token go by its own, and we don't have to touch nothing, and we can start developing new games. So that's kind of the idea.
Yeah, so I like this project very much. For me, you know, phygital part, which is physical, attaching the digital, is very nice narrative. I see actually a big, let's say, benefit of doing so, because there are lots of things that are, as you know, so I don't know if only in Lithuania, but I think in most of you know, countries. So what does the word virtual means? So virtual usually means not real, or something that is like artificial. So I think, and this is also too much of, you know, with that free projects, because there are lots of scams as well, you know, lots of bad projects, and having something physical that people could touch and also to enter that free realm through is a great, you know, great, I don't know, idea, and I would like to see, you know, the project to use it more, you know, as a marketing narrative, how to onboard and how to make it more as a, you know, sustaining all that. Because yes, it is easy currently. It is like these days it's very easy to develop any, you know, game like digital game, but there are people who likes, you know, to board games. I am one of those people, you know, and as Marius also said, you know, he's one of those as well. And to have the game in a good company, you know, to have that physical, you know, I don't know, feeling of it is I think still important. So I really like that part. I really like the team. They have the experience, you know, they have experience of doing things and selling game dev companies. And I also like Tony, because he's coming from Web3, you know, and he's helping the team, I would say, greatly, understanding how it should be steered and what Web3 gamers would want from the game, from the good game. And I like that it is using Sakura, and I'm not biased. You know, why? So we are developers, we are hardcore developers, and for us, you know, Web3 and blockchain is easy, but the question that I asked, what technical problems. So usual technical problems for any Web2 company is the mentality and the understanding how to work with blockchain. And Sakura is actually solving that problem from the roots. So it's basically giving Web2 developers Web2 tools to develop with, and also, as we heard from Tony, they are helping to do that. So it's a great project, and great project is very rare to see. Cool, guys. Nice.
Thank you. Okay, if you watched until this point, thank you very much. This session was hosted by Sakura Protocol, and I'm a VP of Web3 in Sakura Labs. I hope you got a lot of interesting and valuable information and you learned something, especially about Wall Challenge game and how different products and different games are developed on top of Web3, what problems they're facing. So I really hope that this session was also educational for you. I really encourage everyone to stay in the loop and be a part of a journey. First of all, I really want to thank Andrus, and we will leave the links in the description below, but definitely follow SuperHow and follow Andrus. I want to thank Tony, Anthony a lot. Overall, thank you for presenting the World Challenge game. I love the project. So glad to have you on board as one of the games we're developing and also as a partner. So follow the World Challenge game on Twitter. Don't hesitate to click a big like button, click a share, because that's really important for us to grow. We are promising for you in exchange to keep providing a very good content about different projects and everything what's happening in the Web3 space. So thanks again, and until next time.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Ciao.